Okay, and we're live.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Yeah, I'm pretty chill, super tired. How is it going on your side?
Yeah, good actually. Just had a coffee, so.
Yeah, me too, but it kind of doesn't help after 11 hours of work and the workout.
Yeah, how do you take your coffee?
Usually black. Just black, no sugar, no milk. Sometimes I put honey in it.
Oh, yeah? How do you like that?
It's actually super cool. I mean, if I have like the urge to sweeten it up, then I put rather honey instead of sugar in it.
Yeah.
Because honey is dope. Or do you know this? I don't know what it's called in English, but it's like this milk product, creamy, and you use it usually for desserts.
Oh, okay.
That's a super casual thing in like the Ukraine where I'm from.
Yeah.
And you put it like on cakes and stuff as a topping.
Oh, like whipping cream or something.
Yeah, but it's like sweet milk and with the consistency of like sticky mayonnaise.
Oh.
It's super weird.
Yeah.
Let me Google that if there's an English word for it. Just a second. How do you drink your coffee?
Oh, I take it black also, actually. I've been using an AeroPress lately.
AeroPress? Is that the one with the thing?
It's sort of like a
lever,
like a French press.
Yeah,
but there's air, so it's in this like a tube, and you put a filter in it and the grounds, and then you push the coffee down. So there's some air that goes through it, and
that's
such
amazing.
It's so good. And there's no grounds either. It's not like a French press where you get a bit of grounds in that bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Makes such a good cup. And then it's good for just one cup too. Like you don't have to commit to 3 or however many are in your pot, you know?
But you have to cook up water and then...
Well, just boil some water. And it's just a small thing, like good for one cup, you know?
That sounds interesting. What I also like are this Italian coffee cookers.
Oh, okay.
This metallic thing where you put in the water on the bottom and then you put it on a heat. And then the water will rise through the coffee on top.
Right. Is that like a percolator?
Is it called percolator? I don't know like the English word for it. That's...
I have one of those... Because I think with that style, with the Italian ones, that's more like, I guess, what in North America, what they would call espresso or Americano.
Yeah.
So it just makes a little bit of coffee and you can add water to it, right?
Yeah, that's Americano. But the Italian thing is there's like a pot. Yeah. And you have like the bottom part of the pot. You put in cold water. And there's like a little capsule where you put in the fresh coffee.
Yeah.
And then
I think I know what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, and then you set it up on the heater.
Yeah.
And the translation is condensed milk.
Oh, yeah.
This one is so good in the coffee.
That one comes in a can, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. Nice.
I used to drink that during the Christmas holidays a lot.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But man, you know what's probably my favorite way of coffee is you can get a large percolator that does like 6 cups of coffee. And it's kind of the same principle as the Italian one you're describing, but the ground beans go in a little basket up top, and the water boils and goes up this stem. It kind of comes out on the inside of the lid, then goes down into this basket, and it drips down, and it just kind of rotates and makes coffee that way. Man, it's so good.
Oh, coffee is, in general, a nice thing. I guess the best invention ever. But have you ever asked yourself how the people actually came to the conclusion of taking those beans and then roast it and put hot water on top?
Yeah.
I'm constantly asking not constantly, but often ask myself, how could you invent such a thing?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a super basic process because you have to roast it and...
Right. It's not like a broccoli or something where you can just it grows and you can eat it,
Yeah, broccoli you can cook, you can grill it,
or you can eat it raw, right?
True.
But coffee, it's like you probably wouldn't eat the beans.
Nah,
I'm assuming.
And I guess you could not make that with fresh beans,
right?
I imagine it's gross.
Yeah, then it has to be roasted. And then ground and like...
Yeah, who came up with that?
Yeah. And how do you get the different roasts, like a light roast or a dark roast?
I have no idea.
Man.
Let's talk about music.
Yeah.
And, we skipped the introduction, actually. Do you want to give a briefly quick introduction about you and all the music journeys you took? Because you made a lot of different projects. That's so cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm Chad. Thanks for having me on here.
Yeah,
stoked to be here. I've been listening to this, to all the other guests in the gym last week or two. So I've been playing music since I was a wee lad. I started on the piano. Then I moved to guitar when I was 11. I'm from Canada. And I'm from a really small town up north in Manitoba. And I think being in a small town, it's made me really diverse.
Mm-hmm.
So I played the classic rock stuff, and I got into metal and played death metal and black metal and all this. And then I was also into jazz and bluegrass and played bass. And
no idea. What is bluegrass?
Well, actually, the original song of mine that we were talking about earlier, the In a Foreign Land one, that's a pretty good example of bluegrass.
Oh, but that's like super happy country music.
Basically,
How I would describe it.
It's like... it's kind of like metal, but on acoustic, and it's country in kind of a country sense too, but everyone gets to solo over it. So I like that it's so fast, like technical playing.
Mm.
It's fast, it's fun. The crowd likes it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a time about fast that I was really into this one, like super hardcore band. They played around 300 BPM, hardcore metal, only like super fast double kick drums and only screams. That was crazy. I can't remember. I can't remember the name of the band. It's been a while.
Yeah. I love all that stuff too.
You're also in a band, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of... I'm sort of joining a band. It's not really... I guess it's happening. I don't know. It hasn't really been announced officially yet, so...
Yeah, but you posted pictures on Instagram. You made like this super cool band pictures in the forest.
Did I?
I think so. Or in your stories, there were something.
I'm not...
That's why I have it in my mind, because I saw like some pretty dope pictures.
Was it just me, or was it with other people?
With other people. But I guess it was a story and not a regular post.
Okay. I honestly don't know right now.
Yeah, all good.
But yeah.
But I'm pretty sure you was on the picture as well. I don't think you posted like a another band without you. Not sure. It's been a while. It's like already some months ago, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure, man.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah. Anyway, so I grew up in that small town in Manitoba, and then I ended up moving out to Vancouver Island on the west coast there. And my intention was to go out there and start a metal band at first, or a stoner rock band. And little did I know, Vancouver Island is hippie central.
Okay.
And it's not really the place for metal. There is a bit of metal that happens, but it's more the sitting around the campfire with the acoustic kind of thing.
Actually, for me, hippie music is like classic rock, like Jefferson's Airplane.
Yeah.
Or psychedelic rock, and then you can also actually count stoner rock in. I mean, what is more hippie than stoner rock? Tell me.
Yeah, I suppose, what's really big, and it's not really something I'm into, but you might be into it, is the whole DJ scene out there. There's a lot of electronic festivals on small islands and hard to get to places.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I haven't heard a lot about Canadian festivals yet, honestly.
Okay.
But
yeah, the West Coast is the place for that.
Okay.
Like, there's people I know over there that spend their whole summer touring. Like, every weekend they're at a different festival.
Interesting. I guess I only know like a handful of Canadian musicians.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of the people that you've had on have been from Canada or America.
Oh, yeah. From the production side, like from producer's side of thing, I know a bunch of.
Yeah.
Also made a bunch of collabs with Canadian people. But I mean, like from big name bands, I know like, or not bands, I know like The Weeknd, Drake, like the famous one. And I guess I'm really not sure on this point, but La Dispute should be from Canada as well, I guess.
I don't
it's
know
like
that band.
A post hardcore band.
Okay.
Making a super interesting sound, and the singer got like the most unique voice that I ever heard. He can go from, this Linkin Park, like this old Linkin Park type of screaming, like the screaming type of the old Linkin Park songs, but this harder, and then switch to super soft in the second.
Right. Yeah.
And really like super soft. One of my favorite. One of my favorite bands.
Cool, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the whole classic rock thing was pretty big in Canada with your Neil Youngs and your BTO, the Guess Who, Tragically Hip. I don't think they're really classic rock, but maybe they are now, because the 90s was 30 years ago.
Yeah, I just thought they are from the US, not from Canada. I switched something up, but yeah,
that's
cool.
Right. Yeah.
I would say let's hop into your bluegrass track for a second, so the listeners can check it out as well. I was actually vibing to that like before you came into the call. I went through your list. Yeah, just to. It's kind of my way of preparation. I don't like Google you or search you up on Wikipedia or something, but I'm kind of listening to a few songs.
Yeah.
Just to get the vibe right,
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Okay, let's get it on. now that you said it with the metal influence, I kind of know what you meant by. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I could like hear it out like with this little licks when like playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I see that point.
Yeah. It's pretty fast stuff.
It's actually a perfect song like for the alarm clock, when waking up.
Oh yeah.
What's your alarm like your alarm clock music for waking up? Do you have a specific song?
No, I don't. No, I just have one of your iPhone defaults.
But not like the default iPhone sound, right?
No, it's a pretty bad one.
Okay, because like the
slow rise, that's what it's called.
Because like the standard iPhone wake up song it drives me mad, man.
Good. Let's try this.
Yeah, this is okay, but you know which one I mean, this super aggressive one?
Like,
yeah, exactly. This one drives me so crazy.
It's so weird when you hear those ringtones in a different context. Like, you ever out in a store or something, and then someone has that ringtone, or like the one that you're referring to as their ringer on their phone, and it just kind of jolts you into like, whoa, am I awake right now? Or like, I need to wake up. Or, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Because you're so used to hearing that sound when you're asleep,
waking
and then
up,
waking up to that, yeah.
Then it feels like am I in a lucid dream or something?
Yeah.
So like start taking the clothes off and running through the streets. I changed my alarm song to like "Good Morning" from Kanye West. My girlfriend hates it so much. She really hates that one.
Yeah.
And then the alarm goes off like, "Good morning." And she's like, "Good morning. Good morning."
How long have you been doing lo-fi?
It's been, I guess, 2.5 years now.
Okay.
It's a pretty recent project, but to be honest, I made like some chill beats, lo-fi beats, like 5-6 years ago. Then I kind of thought, okay, let's produce some electronic music, and really didn't float that much. I made like some really mid songs, like one or two that I didn't think they are horrible or something. Yeah. And maybe one or two that I think are actually good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a huge change when coming back to lo-fi, because I like felt like at home, like the inspiration just came and came.
Right.
But yeah, I would say I'm also super diverse in the music taste.
Yeah.
Do you also listen to like non-rock based music?
Not so much.
Not so much.
Like, you ever heard of that band Crumb?
Nah.
No?
What is it about?
It almost sounds like it's electronic, but it's all played with instruments. It's pretty cool. It's super chill, but it's not like lo-fi chill. They're definitely worth checking out. I just actually listened to their album right before coming on this.
You have to send me that after the podcast so I can, because
man.
I really enjoy all kind of rock music as well, like also from soft rock to really hardcore fucked up shit, like super fucked up black metal and stuff. You can you can really catch me with that as well. But I would say
check this out. Can you see that?
Yeah, Jinx from Crumb.
Yeah.
Let me just save that for later.
Yeah, I can always send it to you.
Yeah, or just send it to me. Also, for me, when when I'm like in a super snowy place, I like way harder music, like rock music, metal, like really fucked up shit. And when the sun shines and it's summertime, I can like not listen to it at all.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I mean, like Jefferson's Airplane or like this kind of hippie Woodstock music, I can listen through the whole year.
Okay.
But like for like super, super hard.
Yeah. For me,
it needs to be winter and cold.
Yeah, like I feel like classic rock and the Woodstock stuff, that's basically sunny summertime. I want to listen to that.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to winter, I'm more probably how you are too, the weird stuff, I know on Vancouver Island, it would get so dark and gloomy and wet in the winter there that black metal is all that felt appropriate to listen to. And I went all the way down the rabbit hole. And that stuff gets pretty brutal.
I'm like so ashamed right now that I can really not remember the most of the names from the bands, because I have it like in old playlists, and when I feel like it, I'm just like searching up my old playlists and know exactly which song I want to listen just by seeing the cover of it.
Yeah.
And I used to live in a Fletcher with like two metalheads.
Okay.
And one was all about thrash.
Yeah.
And the other was all about black metal. And he showed me black metal, and that's like such a big spectrum. From like super heavy stuff to like really soft music, like ultimately soft music, like a Norwegian band with like this super, super nice female singer. And it felt more like an opera. But then when you see like the music clip, or it's a dude with a voice so soft you think it's a girl.
Okay.
Yeah. I will search that up.
I heard you kind of talking about this on one of the previous podcasts I listened to, and I was trying to figure out who that would be, but I couldn't come up with anyone.
I really have to search it up again.
Yeah.
I think the song is called Fjord.
Okay. Sounds Norwegian.
Yeah, it is. It is. There's also a band called like that.
Yeah, 2 bands.
Yeah, I will search it up and send it to you. And also for the next time when I'm talking about the podcast, I'm prepared. Okay, let's... I had this one question that I wanted to ask my guest for a long time on the podcast. And I recently thought about it when I was showering before this.
Okay.
Do you have like a funny, weird thing that you do that you think that nobody else is doing? Like a habit, like a super weird habit.
I find these kind of questions so strange because it's like...
Yeah, I want to bring in like, strange questions, not like the basic, boring ones.
But I mean, what's my reference point here? Where's the base point normal that I can be familiar with, that I can say, well, I know I'm not normal in that way because I do this weird thing. You know what I mean?
I totally see your point. It's less about like general worldview, normal perspective, but something, let's say, that you enjoy that feels weird to you and you think like, oh, that's weird, why am I like doing this? Or let's say, for example, if you take this sour pickles and you eat it with chocolate cream or something, like this cliche of pregnant women are eating this, like something like that feels weird to you.
Okay. Like not food related, anything.
It could be anything, yeah. I mean, I think I'm the only person I know who drinks coffee with honey, you know. I
Yeah, I've
haven't
never
heard
really
that
heard of
from...
that.
Yeah, exactly. Something
Yeah.
like that, you know.
Huh. I don't know. That's a tricky one. Nothing's really coming to mind.
Yeah, you can come to this back if something pops into your
I'll
mind.
think on it for a minute. Yeah.
Or another weird question, because I want to make this kind of thing, asking weird questions instead of, boring ones. Is there a band or musician that you like listening to, even if it's like kind of cringe to tell?
Okay, I got the perfect one here.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to say this. No. All right. So Mariah Carey Unplugged.
Mariah Carey Unplugged.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the 90s. It was like, I don't know if it was her first, I don't think it was her first time performing, but when they were doing the MTV Unplugged videos.
Oh, yeah, 90s. I know that.
Yeah, it was one of those.
Okay, cool.
And man, that performance is so good. The backing band is just on point in the backbeat. She's got like a kind of a choir with her. And it's all pop tunes, but man, you can watch the videos on YouTube and she's just a boss on stage.
I have to check that out because, I mean, she's definitely a big talent.
Yeah.
The only song that really bothers me about her is that Christmas song, because you cannot go anywhere in December without hearing the song like 20 times a day. Oh, you want to grab like a bottle of Coke in the supermarket? Yeah, take this. You push it into your brain.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't do that song.
Yeah, but I guess that's like, that's what make her like freaking rich on the one point.
Yeah.
But also made the name cringe on the other side.
Yeah.
I mean, and there are still plenty of people like really enjoying and vibing to this. Like
it's a pretty good song, actually. Like if you don't, like you're saying, get it shoved down your throat every 2 minutes through December.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I remember when I was first kind of consciously exposed to it, I was working at a Extra Foods in Canada, a grocery store, and they were playing it, and it was like, wow, this is like, not that I liked it, but it was, in terms of music that plays when you're in a grocery store, it was enjoyable.
Okay, yeah, fair point.
I don't know. There's music like that where it's not something that I would put on myself, but when you're in those settings, you can enjoy them.
Yeah, I mean, on a Christmas market with like 1 liter of mulled wine inside your head.
Yeah.
And super tipsy. I guess that song is a banger.
Yeah.
It's a vibe then.
Yeah. Think about that keyboard player, how fast he's going. Like, at kind of the intro part, like, I don't know what the BPM on that would be, but it's pretty quick.
Yeah. Oh, I texted you about this one song that I want to cover, and I asked you.
Oh yeah.
And I cannot like write or transcribe my melodies by myself, and then I just checked the internet for like having MIDI files to like a little bit rearrange them and play with them. Song is original in like 230 BPM.
Okay.
That's so freaking fast. But yeah, it's a super fast song.
Yeah.
Also, that's like a all-time dream. Or not all-time dream, but since I'm doing cover songs in chill, that's like a goal. Through the Fire and the Flames by Dragon Force.
Man, what? Yeah?
Making
so how would you do that? Like,
I have no idea. That's like something, a task that I have on my to-do list, and I really want to master it one day.
Yeah, I could kind of see a beat over it in a way, like a groovy, you know.
And you have to really cut the different parts.
Yeah.
Because the one main melody is super catchy and really, it's like super cool. Like it flows.
Yeah.
And kind of have the whole background that is super fast and kind of slow down this part, but keep the melody still recognizable, because you cannot just like pitch down the whole track. Then you would not recognize it at all, or it would sound terrible.
Huh.
But I really, really need to get
That's
this
a cool idea.
done. Yeah. I guess this will be the hardest project ever.
Yeah.
But on the other side, like just the thought about flipping a song like that into lo-fi.
Yeah. Cool idea.
Yeah, this kind of came to my head when listening to the original song and never went away.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, that's good.
Or also one that I really would love to cover is Fear of the Dark by Iron Maiden.
Oh, yeah.
And that would work so well, I guess.
Yeah.
The melody is just lovely.
What about, I don't know, I was thinking about this earlier today, like Nirvana, like Serve the Servants or something. It starts with that beat, you know?
Mm-hmm. I love Nirvana. That's my favorite MTV Unplugged show.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially this, also, they did a cover song on the MTV Unplugged.
Yeah, they did quite a few, actually.
Yeah, but the one by Billy, something
Lead Belly.
Lead Belly. Yeah, this song. It's
Where Did You Sleep Last Night?
Yeah, that's such a good song.
Yeah.
I always get goosebumps listening to it. And then years later...
Like, that scream he does at the end of it. Man. They also did what is it? The Meat Brothers or something? What are they called? When they got the other band on stage and they did, I think, 3 songs with them.
Yeah. They announced
Lake of Fire and Plateau.
Plateau is also like one of my top 3 songs from Nirvana.
Oh, yeah.
When he does this high pitch singing.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I really melt every time when hearing that part. It's like, wow. It really does something to my body. I cannot explain how. But it really does something with my whole body.
Yeah, man. I read the biography of him this past year.
Yeah?
Yeah, quite interesting.
I guess.
Yeah, it gave a lot more insight into him than I'd previously had.
I really need to read that too. I put it on my 2025 book list.
Yeah.
I have quite a few. Just finished the one from Rick Rubin. Oh my God. This book is so good. And I already told that sometimes in the podcast, but this book is so good.
Yeah.
It's especially if you're an artist.
Yeah.
It gives you so much insight on also how to break through a writer's block.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave so many great advices. And I mean, sure, nothing that I can do as a producer, like the example that I'm gonna bring up or that I already brought up with like just turning off all the lights. I mean, I can imagine if you're playing the guitar, you probably know how to play an F minor or G major chord. Also, with so many years experience as you have, for example, you could easily jam like in a complete blackout room, I guess.
Yeah, you know, like as you play the guitar, you kind of, it's not like you have bass points on it, but you know, if you're in F minor or something, you know, you just feel it. You're like, okay, well, I'm there, then I don't know.
I mean, you know, I guess you played the F minor chord for around 100,000 times in your life already.
Yeah.
And then it's just like a memory. And I guess by limiting yourself, not be able to see it, you focus on everything else, just not on what you're actually doing. No, it's just like play.
So that's where like jazz music is kind of cool, because it's a lot of the guys say that you should. Sorry about that.
Oh, good.
You should practice like your solos that you can voice them. That type of thing. Yeah, and it's almost the same thing as not being able to see it. You're just, except it's not a visual thing. You're trying to be more creative and more like of a singing quality to your solo instead of just, you know, just shred.
This
like it's
really
almost
helps.
Yeah. It's kind of like taking away a sense.
Yeah.
In a way.
Also, it takes your focus you cannot focus on too many things at the same time. And I guess by trying to sing and play what you're singing, it kind of blocks out all the unnecessary things. Yeah,
and it's interesting to think too, like how much of that is just a pattern. Like there's some guys I know that like, okay, F sharp minor, I'm just going to do my... They just do that for the whole... Okay, you take a solo. Okay. And, you know, that's kind of the whole solo. And it's just variations on that. But it's like, is that all that's going on in your head when you're thinking about doing a solo? Or that seems like there's no real creativity in that. Yeah, you're just doing this sort of memorized pattern. Like if you get to know your instrument enough, you can more play to the feel of the song. And I don't know, you know, like depending on the groove in that, like if it's something, say that kind of thing, I don't know, maybe you want to do more of a chordy solo over that. It's just how you feel.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I heard that singing advice also, and like I said, I cannot like just take the piano and play it like a pro. But when it comes down to making beats, you don't have to do that. You can like record one chord after another. And for melodies, that's such a big game change. Just like summing something like only to get like a cool rhythm. I mean, rhythm does so much to it. And especially I kind of try to get out of this limitation of thinking in scales that hard. I mean, if it sounds good, it sounds good. And
but then
this note is not in the scale, but it sounds good. So why should you replace it or move it?
I feel like it's sort of a double-edged sword thing, because in a way you're like, okay, I'm going to play a song. Okay, it's just A major or whatever. But then then you can be like, well, I'm going to be creative and put like a G natural in that. But then it's, in a way, it doesn't feel like it's as creative because you're so consciously putting this out of key chord in there that it works, but it's also like consciously making a mistake in a way.
Yeah, but okay, but somehow you have to be conscious to make music. I guess
that what I'm kind of having in mind is
or like a little bit conscious.
Yeah, like some of my ideas that I've had in the past have come up from making a real mistake, like not being so thoughtful of, I'm going to put a G natural in a song that's an A.
Just like slipped.
but like, say you're going to start playing your song, then you accidentally go like that.
Yeah,
Instead of that, then you're like, that's actually kind of cool,
Yeah, I
like,
totally see that point. Yeah, exactly. Okay, then it's like a funny little accident, Bob Ross would say.
but it works in a way, and it just sounds good in the song, and it creates this certain vibe of like, I mean, that's totally a Led Zeppelin thing, but
it is.
But that's not in the key of A, and well, I don't know how they wrote that, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And while listening to you jamming on the guitar, I just remembered there are certain apps that allowed you to work on tracks together at the same time from different places.
Oh,
I should read a bit into it. We should definitely like make a jam session.
Oh yeah.
Like I do the drums, you play the guitar, and then just like see where it goes.
Yeah. Cool.
Because I know there are tools like that. A friend told me about this, and I have to ask him how it's called.
Yeah, I've never heard of this, so yeah, it sounds great.
Yeah, that's like a big innovation in music. Imagine you can collaborate in real time with anyone from
anywhere.
From anywhere. That's so crazy.
Yeah, man.
So, how long are you now in Scotland? You moved. No,
in Scotland.
Yeah. How long are you now in Scotland?
Year and a half.
Year and a half?
Yeah.
And it's you grew up in Canada and then came to Scotland the first time a year and a half ago? Or what's the story?
Kind of picking up what I was talking about earlier. When I moved to Vancouver Island, I met my girlfriend there. She's from Scotland.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see.
So, yeah, she wanted to come back and reconnect with the homeland roots. And freedom and all that.
And how do you like it in Scotland?
I'm
pretty good beers and whiskey.
Yeah. Yeah. You ever had Drambuie? You ever heard of that?
Nah.
No, it's a liqueur, but it's a whiskey liqueur. So it's got a bit more sweetness, and other, like, honey is in it, heather.
Is it moving to the direction of butterscotch?
Not so much.
Because I have...
maybe, like...
It's also like a sweet whiskey liquor.
It's sweet, yeah. I wouldn't really say a caramelly flavor at all, though.
Okay. More honey.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, so they have stuff like that here, which is nice. It's different from Canada. Obviously, it's a different country. So, yeah, I don't know. It's
mentality-wise, how's that?
Well, they drive on the other side of the road here.
Yeah, that's super weird.
Yeah. I don't drive here because I don't even want to mess around with that. You know, I've been driving since I was 16 or whatever in Canada, and I think I would probably screw up and instinctively go to the right side in a tight situation. You know what I mean?
Actually, I remember like having a 3-week trip in Thailand, and there's kind of the same.
Yeah.
You get used to it pretty fast.
I guess I've heard people say that, yeah.
But also, I was driving a motorcycle and not a car. I mean, you have to relearn this side parking.
Yeah. Well, you know what's interesting here? You can actually park on either side of the road. It's not like you drive on the right side of the road and you can only park, do a parallel park on the right side. You can drive, I guess you drive on the left side, but you could park on the right side. So you'll see cars parked facing both directions on either side of the road. Mm-hmm. It's super weird.
Yeah.
Like with how strict and regulated everything is here, I'm surprised that they allow that to happen still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you now living also in a small place or?
No, I'm in Glasgow.
Oh, okay. That's. I was in Glasgow for 1 day.
Okay.
Cool city, but I really enjoyed the nature side of Scotland. I mean, you can drive for hours and not seeing a single car, but you have amazing landscapes.
Yeah.
And water.
Yeah, we hiked the West Highland Way when we first came here. That's I think 5-night long hike, so 6 days.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool, going through Glencoe, and up Loch Lomond, basically from Glasgow up to Fort William. Yeah, and just exactly what you're talking about, going over the mountains and the all the scenery and that.
That's actually on my bucket list. Make this. You have multiple hike routes in Scotland that are 5 days, 6 days, 7 days long, and making a 7-day long hike is for sure on my bucket list.
Yeah, and my feet were so sore by the end. I couldn't believe it. It was interesting because by the end of every day, my feet were super sore.
Yeah.
But then waking up the next morning, and there were a few times we had to get up at 6 a.m. because we had it all planned out. What was some people tent the whole hike, or you can do what we did, and you can book Airbnbs throughout the whole thing.
That's what I would do personally.
Yeah. Then you can have a shower. And,
yes.
Yeah. So we had destinations for each night. Tomorrow we have to do 12 miles or whatever, because it's just about 100-mile long hike.
That's 160 kilometers.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know I'm not really familiar.
It's so weird that you have kilograms, but then miles on the other side.
Yeah.
Weird.
Then here they're stone. I'm 10 stone. What is a stone?
Yeah.
What?
So, for real stone?
I have no idea. Apparently it has a certain weight, though. I don't know.
Okay. Oh, it's not pounds. It's really stones.
I don't know. Guy I know is always saying, I used to be X stones. And what is a stone? Man, I've seen some pretty big stones.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, do you like the dark beer? Like the black beer?
Yeah. I'm actually drinking a Guinness right now. Yes. I love a dark beer after coffee.
There is Guinness in Scotland. The times are officially over, but this clash between Ireland and Scotland.
I think it was more of a clash between England and Scotland.
I think Ireland and Scotland too. But actually all the countries in the United Kingdoms love to kind of just clash, yeah.
Yeah.
The United Clash Kingdoms.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember this one time in Liverpool. That was so freaking hilarious. You had there was this derby, because I guess there are two stadiums in Liverpool, and they played soccer.
Oh yeah.
Soccer that the Americans can understand it too. Otherwise
Football.
It would be football. Exactly. And they made fight-free zones.
Oh yeah. They do that here too. Yeah.
Where okay, you're safe here.
Yeah.
I was shocked seeing that, but it's also super hilarious. I was like, okay, cool. I love the mentality, but kind of fighting over football.
Yeah.
Still kind of stupid.
Yeah.
There are better reasons,
Could you buy alcohol at that game?
I was not watching the game. I was just in the city for partying.
Oh, I see.
We went there like with a group of friends, and most of us just like finished higher education school. I finished my apprenticeship as an electrician, and then we just went there for partying. And oh my God, Liverpool is such an amazing place for partying.
Yeah.
It's like the best place I have ever been. There was this one club called Levels. And I guess because they have different levels, different floors.
Yeah.
And on each floor was like completely different music. You had the one floor playing like some hip hop, for example. And then the floor on top was techno music. And the floor on top was like party punk, like this, punk rock, and like this turned up rock music that you can really good party to.
Yeah.
And that was so cool. You could like switch always, and then you're in a completely new scene.
Yeah.
And like all the people switched like the floors all the time.
Yeah.
And that was such a cool thing for me to see. You don't have this here in Switzerland,
Yeah.
And if you're enjoying all sort of music, that's a perfect place.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
Mm.
Wow.
I really have to go back there. It's been like 10 years now. Crazy.
Have you always been in Switzerland then?
I was born in the Ukraine.
Oh, right.
Then,
I think we talked about this a bit.
Yeah, then I came here like really in kindergarten. In the age for kindergarten. Then grew up here and always lived here.
Yeah.
And actually, I didn't travel that much. I went to like different countries a little bit, but man, there are so many people like traveling all the time, and I'm like, God damn it, why is music my thing? I cannot afford to travel all the time. I have to buy plugins and sample packs and gear, man.
So do you have a Swiss Army knife?
Yeah.
Do you just call it an army knife there?
We call it an army knife, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But actually, if I think about it, I guess I lost it. The one that I got from the military service.
All right. You said you have to. That's mandatory to do that there, right?
Yes. You can decide whether to go to the military or to the kind of public service thing.
Huh.
And this public service is split in two categories.
Yeah.
So let's say you have to go for like a health and intelligence check.
Yeah.
To see if you are even able to join the army. So you cannot be like super dumb.
Yeah.
And you cannot be like super unhealthy. And let's say you had, as a child, a heavy accident and fucked up your back or your knees or anything, then obviously you cannot do the Swiss military service.
Yeah.
And then you can do the normal public service. And there's like this public service for if you're kind of whether not healthy enough to do the normal public service or not healthy enough or not intelligent enough to do that, then there's this kind of easy public service where you usually just like clean up forests and do that kind of stuff. But it's actually super cool, and I have to say I'm not like a fan of military at all, but the time was, I would say, important, you know?
Yeah.
Because you really learn discipline, you kind of have this official step between being a grow up or young adult to get into the adulthood.
Yeah. So do you do that at 18 or something?
19, I guess. Yeah. 18 or 19, I did that.
Yeah. And for 2 years, you said?
Not exactly. It was the basic, like you have this basic military learning thing where you are like not a soldier yet. You are kind of no name, and you learn to clean your gun and have to walk a lot and do all kind of activities. I'm not sure, that's 14 weeks, I guess. And then you can decide whether you want to do the whole military service in 1 year.
Yeah.
Or if you want to do every year after this 14 weeks, like a 3-week long repetition course till you are around 30.
Oh.
And I switched I made like the basic military thing, the 14 weeks, till I was like an official soldier and finished that.
Yeah.
And then I said, I will do the repetitive 3 weeks every year. And I got like this letter, super weird. And they were like, your next course is in 2 months. And I just came out from the military, and I'm like, hell no, what the hell? I just wrote me into like an adult school. That is kind of, if you're doing an apprenticeship but you still want to go studying, you can do like this adult school. And get ready or get a certificate to be even able to write yourself into a higher education. And I was like, hell nah, you don't have to do that in the same year as you finish the basic military service. And they were like, nah, you have to come. And I'm like, no, I just wrote myself into this school. I'm not coming. I just finished 2 weeks ago the military basic service. And there was this like general or something, and we had email contact about that, and he was like super rude. And I'm like, hell no, you will never ever see me again. And I kind of went to another office that's kind of connected with the military, and they get me rewritten into this public service. And then I kind of did longer services there, so I'm already done with it. I was done with it like 2 or 3 years ago already. So way below 30. And the good part is, usually if you're done with military, you still have to go for your shooting training every year. And I really liked the part with the shooting a rifle, was fun. But to clean it up afterwards, that would be such a pain. And I could like give all my military stuff away or give it back then. And didn't have to do that.
What kind of a rifle is it?
SG-50, like a real Swiss-made automatic rifle.
Yeah.
Like a big one, super heavy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was weird, but also super cool. I'm honest, like you're there on the shooting range, shot like 50 meters, 100 meters.
Yeah.
It's so impressive. 300 meters was, I guess, the longest that we shot. And that was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. That's real fun.
So do people in that program ever have to go like overseas or anything?
No. Only if you decide to go for how would I translate that? Like career military.
Oh yeah.
Where when you decide to stay there and approach the military as your job.
Right.
But this is not mandatory. Nobody has to do that. This is like all, you say, you don't have to do it.
Like not required or something?
Yeah, just let me Google the word. It's on a volunteer base. So, but the good thing, if you do that, you get a shit ton of money. Oh my God, yeah. The salaries, even though if you decide to go for the higher school, I mean, after finishing your basic military learning phase, the academy, you can decide to make a next step into being the group leader. After that, you can decide to go even further. Then you will make the lieutenant and will be like the leader of a 30 soldier equip. And those guys who made that, they made like within 2-3 years a shit ton of money. Yeah. But I didn't felt it enough. I also thought about that because you would get like a real good start. You would probably have enough to get to start a payment for a house, or start a business or something like that. But I could not imagine doing it for so long.
Yeah. I guess there's no lo-fi in the military.
Nah, but it's Switzerland, It's pretty chill.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Switzerland. Alps, Swiss Army knife, chocolate
and cheese. And watches.
Oh, cheese? Okay.
We are super well known for cheese and watches. Okay. Like all the luxury watch brands, Rolex, Omega.
Oh yeah.
Hublot, AP, and Patek Philippe, all Swiss brands.
Cool.
Yeah. And like being on time is such a big thing here. It's really a big thing.
Yeah.
Our like public transport is ridiculously good. It can happen that sometimes like a bus arrives 5 minutes late, but then there's like a storm happening.
Yeah.
Or it's like heavy rush hour, but usually they're always on time, on the minute.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
And
Glasgow
also
could take a lesson from that.
Also like the Association for Swiss Train Transportation.
Yeah.
The trains that drive to Germany, for example, from Switzerland, have to be Swiss trains. the German trains are not allowed to go over the border into Switzerland.
Really?
Because because they have so much problems on being on time that it would fuck up our system, and then our trains would be late. And that's why German trains are forbidden to get over the Swiss borders. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
But I guess the ones from Italy and France as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun working on that first track with you.
The Hypnotized by the Ocean, that's a really good one.
Yeah. You know, I doubt anyone that's listening to this will recall, because there's only like 5 people in the world that will probably recall this. It's from the part that I wrote of the song.
Yeah.
Is was originally like a folk tune I wrote. It was like I had that melody. Well, I don't even think that part of the melody made the final cut, but the chorus did. Yeah, that part. Yeah, it's just an old tune, like one of the first songs I wrote type of thing. Or one of the first songs that I thought was good enough to record. So I have some old demo of it somewhere on my computer. But basically, I kind of wanted to scrap it because I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but you look back at your old stuff, like, man, not that it was bad, but it was kind of like, what am I thinking? Or what was I thinking? Why? Then you get these songs that kind of get stuck and like, well, that was how I felt at that time, but I'm not going to do something with it now. I don't feel like that anymore. I don't want to really record it in a way. So I took the chorus of the song and I sort of turned it into like what would be a jingle, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to use it if I ever found a place for it on, like, say, a radio melody or something like that. I don't know. Nothing really came out of it. So then when I found your ad on Instagram, it's like, yeah, I've got the perfect thing for this.
Yeah, so. And I really love that song. And it turned out so well. It's such a vibe. The whole album project was a big vibe. And honestly, I was like super hyped to do that. It was like on the probably, was it the picture with the one tree and the text? Was it that ad? Because I think I did too.
Yeah, I think so.
It was so funny. I was kind of super hangovered after going out, and it was Sunday, so I had to walk like 7 minutes from my place to the gas station to get some food.
Yeah.
And that's a tree that's on the way that I kind of had this idea, and then instantly like, okay, I don't know any like real instrumentalists for this project. Let's just make a worldwide ad.
Yeah. So cool, man.
Yeah, it really was the most fun project ever. So many different inputs came together, and still the album sounds kind of like a flow. Yeah, it's got something like all the right people came on it at the right time. I mean, my advertisement spend was $20.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. $20 or $25.
Jeez, man.
I was like, it's always in the winter after paying taxes and having like Christmas and everything. usually the Swiss folks people are broke as fuck.
Yeah.
And I had like $20 on my PayPal or 25. And I was like, okay, I have no money, but I have time. Let's make an album.
Yeah, cool.
It was funny, exactly this.
It's funny because the way I wrote the song, I think we talked about this a bit when we came together on it.
Yeah.
It would have been like, because there's two sections to the song, sort of like a verse section and a chorus section. So I was kind of like, you should go AAB, AAB, like verse, chorus, verse, chorus. But then you ended up just going all A, like over and over until like the halfway point, and then it goes to B, and then it just stays at B for the rest of the song. But it actually turned out really cool that way.
Yeah, I probably totally didn't understood what you meant by that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a vibe, and it's this is one of my personal aspects that I really do often in songs, especially for lo-fi and chill beats. They're usually short as hell.
Yeah. Why is that?
I guess because they get too boring if they're too long. And also the other part is I'm just not a composer myself. So I try to make an A and a B part.
Yeah.
And the switch up, it's like interesting in the first half. Then right before it starts to get boring, there comes a break, and then it goes to a B part.
Yeah.
And I mean, that are not beats that you could like rap on at all, or like rappers or stuff. But it works perfectly fine in lo-fi. But yeah, that's on my to-do list, like learning to compose and more about music, writing.
Yeah, like, it's interesting. Like, I have a tune I'm interested in sending you. It goes a little bit out there, but I think it could work as a lo-fi thing. And it would definitely have to be shortened too, because it's like a 5-minute song or something. But it's kind of like, where is the boundaries in that?
I guess if you can like write down a full song with the arrangement, and it's got its own story, it's definitely doable to keep it 5 minutes and keep it interesting over 5 minutes. But also we could like bring in some vocals as well. I mean, you do singing, and I really want to get into like more vocal based tracks. I only did 2 so far.
Yeah.
And I really like this lo-fi aesthetic with the vocals. I think I sent you like a few songs that I liked in this style, but they don't have to be like this this pop music sound. Like, could be everything. And also now I guess it's a perfect time to really go into making new and own subgenres, because the lo-fi got super popular. You can hear it now in so many different places.
Yeah.
I mean, I even saw like car advertisements or like advertisements that have nothing to do with chill, but it just fits in. And more people are getting into listening to lo-fi music. But at the same time, the score genre goes making different routes. Now there are this side of like the game soundtrack covers, movie soundtrack covers, and you can take nearly every song and make it chill.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's like all you need. A song that you know and like, but you are in this relaxed mood, so you get you can listen to a chill version of it.
Yeah. I know there was a Zelda one that I used to listen to quite a bit.
A few years. The chance is so big that I probably know the artist who made that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came into this game music lo-fi community, and man, there are talents.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Sounds for Good. Oh, no, never mind. Kato, I think. Kato or something.
Kato.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that guy. Not pretty well, but he's from this community. We're like on a Discord server with like around 60 different people on it. All like musicians, and I guess 90% of them making video game covers. That's how I came into this as well. And it's a lot of fun. It's like nostalgic flashbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, I love every soundtrack from Pokemon. That they are so good.
Yeah.
How's your journey with the Switch going?
Oh, good. Yeah, I've got Dragon Ball Z Kakarot right now. That's really good.
Totally happy with it?
Yeah, I like it. I was actually kind of thinking a few months back I wanted to maybe get the series or something so I could watch it. I remember watching it years ago when it was on TV just to get into it again. But I think from what I can remember of it, I think this game is kind of going through the series.
Okay.
There's a lot of story time. Like you can skip it, but I'm watching through it all just to get into the world.
And it's interactive. That's so cool. I mean, you get story flashbacks and you can actively be a part of it.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so enjoyable.
Yeah, and it's an open world concept, so you can go around, do side quests, do the main quest, and you can play as different characters too.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. The only Dragon Ball that I played is this Xenoverse. It's so epic. I mean, the fights are so good.
Yeah. The graphics are basically as good as the TV show, as I remember it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really love this not perfect Switch graphics.
Yeah.
Because it feels everything, even new games feel kind of nostalgic on it. Because it's not like this super high definition, perfect resolution, you know.
Like I'm coming from 3DS, so it's a big step up from that. But yeah.
Well, the 3DS is, I guess, my most favorite Nintendo console.
Like I grew up with a Super Nintendo, so I've also got the Switch Online right now, so I'm playing through Donkey Kong as well. And
you can play the older, from old Nintendo devices. You can play like the old games.
Yeah. Do you have that too?
Not yet. I thought about that, but then I discovered this Cult of the Lamb in the shop, and it's so cool. I mean, you're a lamb that was meant to be sacrificed, and
sacrificed,
like guy you should,
like a satanic sacrifice or something, or
and the guy you should get sacrificed to, you were sacrificed. Basically, that's like what's happening in the first 20 seconds. Then there's this demon or this dark lord or whatever, and he's like, I need you to like get things done for me. Here is my demonic crown, and you have to go back to life and build a cult. And then in the beginning of the game, you get like your first members, and you kind of start to like them because.
So that's like fellow lambs, or
No, it's all kind of animals. That's so funny.
Oh, okay.
And they sometimes come to you, and you can talk with them like a little bit. There's not much dialogue with your cult members, but anyway, somehow you give them names and you start to like them. And then there comes this one quest, also pretty early. Yeah, you have to sacrifice one of your members to strengthen your power. And I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
But cool. After the first one, you get into it, and then you sacrifice the second and the third and the fourth one. It's so cool. It's like cute and evil at the same time.
Wow.
It's amazing. I can really suggest that.
Was that on the eShop or whatever?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Oh, yeah. I'll check that out. Should play some satanic black metal as the playlist during that, you know?
Yeah. And on the homepage of the game, they announced like a black metal version from the soundtracks that the band made for them. Yeah. I emailed them to ask them if they want someone to do like a lo-fi cover album too.
Oh yeah.
Because it's kind of, this game is so cozy and chill, and on the other side it's so metal. I mean, you could really imagine that Jack Black have come up with this idea. It really feels like a Jack Black thing, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I really have to listen to Tenacious D back. Haven't heard them in a while.
Oh, yeah?
They're so amazing.
Haven't they been cancelled?
For what? Being their self?
Yeah, the guy that's not Jet Black.
Oh, yeah,
He said something in Australia about should have better aim next time about Trump.
Oh. Yeah, I remember.
That's the last news I heard about them. I don't know what's happened.
Yeah, I think he actually apologized in the public as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even if you're like completely in the different mindset or different thoughts about topics, you should like kind of not wish someone the death who just survived an assassination attempt. I mean, you can disagree as much as you want with like Trump or anyone, but it's never right to like actually say such stuff. But I still like the band. I mean, this.
Yeah.
You know how many times Kanye got cancelled.
He probably wasn't saying that. Like, they're a kind of a joke band, right? Like, I feel like he was probably saying that to get laughs, and it's not like they came out and, okay, this is serious time. The guy should have had a better aim. Like, no, he probably meant it as a joke, or, you know what I mean? Like,
I totally see that because, yeah, it's like you said, there are comedians on the one side and a comedian band on the other side. That's really true. I guess it's just like maybe a too dark sense of humor for a lot of people.
Yeah, but maybe too soon after.
Yeah, this is also like a point to that. And we live in weird times, let's be honest. You can get cancelled for like nearly everything.
Yeah.
That's so weird. I mean,
I feel like the cancel culture is maybe dying out a bit.
Hopefully. I hope so, because I really love like dark humor, comedy. You know Matt Rife?
No.
That's this one super good looking guy who's going to the for the comedy show, and that's so fascinating about him. He never prepares.
Okay.
Sometimes he just tell like stories, what he lived through, and kind of put it in a super funny way. But most of the time, he's just like roasting the guests. and he's roasting the guests hard. He goes really hard on them. It's like it's
I feel like I might have come across this on Instagram.
For sure, and it doesn't really feel like a roast. It's like feel like just 200% offensive on like looks, weights, age, everything. And the thing is, the people who are going to the show and get roasted love him, and they go to the show and know, okay, if it hits me, they feel happy about it to be like a part of the show, right? And then there are on the other side like internet rambos that have like super small balls, but not when they're on the internet, because then they're like, oh, look at me, I'm internet Rambo, and I will cancel you for this, and I will cancel you for that. And his answer to this was so hilarious. He made a web shop, and he made this like helmets for like retarded people. And he tweeted just like, for everyone who gets offended by my jokes, I just set up this web shop. You can buy a helmet.
Fuck.
And I think this is the most hilarious way to just like, answer to this. I mean, he's still doing sold out shows. The people are not, I mean, his fans are still his fans. Only because he upset some Karens on the internet.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Like, what? I'm not really familiar. How did this guy get going? He just tours around and plays, or like he just kind of sits on the stage and people come up and he roasts them?
No, he just like, you there, and just most of the time from like looks, or sometimes he asks like, there was this one show that was hilarious as hell. The guests of the show could actually email stories.
Oh yeah.
And there were like topics from that, like crimes they did and stuff, or like or weird breakups with their partners, or like any kind of topic. And there was also the show with, that's super old, with like paranormal activities that the guests have lived through or saw, or that happened to them. And he kind of roasted them after reading their story, but in a super funny way. I mean, if I was at this show and I would like get roasted by him, I would laugh my ass off. It's so funny. Even if it's like super, super hard and like without any limits, who cares? If you cannot laugh about yourself, you will live a super miserable life. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Huh.
I can really, really suggest you to watch his shows. There's a Netflix special, and I guess that's why he got canceled for.
Okay.
He made like a joke about how to say that? For like about a guy who beat up his wife or something.
Oh.
But and he was like, okay, but how else would you go on such a hard topic and kind of say it publicly if you cannot like put it into a humorous aspect? Because sometimes the most terrible stuff that happens to us in life, you get the best over it with like, humor.
Yeah.
I mean, you can heal a lot of traumas and stuff just by just with humor. And he didn't like I mean, he's a comedian. He's not like a fan of this, and he made that clear. Also, I guess he made that clear in the show, but still, people try to cancel him for that.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. The world took like a super weird movement.
Yeah.
And what I really don't understand is the generation that is super active in this cancel culture. They all grew up with South Park.
Yeah, right.
That doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah. I feel like it's all kind of tied into like Me Too and all that. You know?
Yeah, probably. But whoa, when was that? This whole Me Too thing is already like 8 years back.
Yeah, right. Something like that. Pre-COVID.
Yeah, way long pre-COVID. I guess I was still in the apprenticeship.
Yeah.
When reading about that, and that's at least 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it sounds about right, yeah.
That's crazy. And I mean, that's important topics to bring up. I guess what's happening in the whole Hollywood scene is so bad. That's like really a godless place.
Yeah.
That's really crazy. I mean, the whole terrible stuff that came up from like Nickelodeon. The child series film.
I'm familiar with the Nickelodeon, but I don't know what happened with them.
Yeah, a lot of child abuse, like from the young actors and the one producer and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. And that's so messed up.
Yeah.
And I mean, probably it worked that well because you had like child actors or like teenagers.
Yeah.
They were like not super young, but still teenagers. And they are way apart from like the normal society. I mean, they have to spend so many time at the set making this TV show and stuff. And yeah, I mean...
And like what happened to these people?
Yeah, it was sexual abuse.
Fuck. Like, see, that deserves to be cancelled. Or
this have to be cancelled, and I totally agree on that. And for this, it's like important to have this movements of the Me Too and all that stuff. But on the other side, there were also a lot of people kind of abused that hype around this. Or it's a wrong wording to call it hype, but it was a big topic at the moment. And there were a lot of like falsely accused cases.
Yeah. A friend of mine had something like that happen to him.
And that's crazy. I mean, it's important to bring like that up and get like the really bad guys into jail. And like locked in. On the other side, if there's an abuse of this topic when it's super popular at the moment and like like innocent people going to jail just because it's right now a big topic and some that's I would say that's same amount of bad. Imagine going 15 years to jail, miss the best years of your life for a false accusation. That's heavy.
Yeah, like I know a guy that he's basically canceled in this particular town. And, you know, he'll live there, but he can't go to any events or anything because someone will have a problem with this guy being there because of something that might have happened, but there's no proof that it happened. And, it's this whole, basically this one person's word against another person. And
yeah. And sometimes it's also, I guess it's important that this whole thing came to light with the Me Too movement, because that gives the courage to actually speak it out when it happens to you. And I guess if it's, it's harder to really prove what happened if it's like, oh yeah, 5 years ago this happened.
Yeah.
Or like, yesterday this dude did this and that, and then they can make DNA checks and really get the proofs together, get some labor analysis, and really put like the ones that really made it to jail, and that's super important. But yeah, imagine being like innocent, and accused of that. Let's say you go to jail, and even without the right proof. I mean, there's this system in America where people are just like, you get 50 people, and they have to decide whether it's right or wrong.
Oh, like the jury?
Yeah, the jury thing.
Yeah. Is it not like that there?
Here?
Yeah.
No.
Oh. So what, it's just down to the judge there?
Yes.
Okay.
But I guess if it comes to something like that, there have to be like real waterproof proof.
Yeah. Then, when you say about these people that are wrongly accused, there must be some reason that they're being accused in the first place. Like, or
imagine
I kind of find it hard to believe, like, if someone came out right now, like, oh, Relaxicorn did this thing, and like, but then are people going to be like, well, he's not that kind of guy to do that?
Yeah, I see that point.
Like, unless you were, like.
But imagine really hating your ex, even if nothing like that happened, and you just want to mess up their life really hardcore.
Yeah.
And super easy way to do that is by falsely accuse them. Even though if it's a false accusation, you have to go to jail, and then your family stops. You don't have to go to jail. It just goes to court. And then your family members stop talking to you. Let's say you have a child that is then stop talking to you.
Yeah.
All your friends. And then it comes out that it was a false accusation. Do you think that will ever bring back to the normal state? It will never go back to normal.
Right. Yeah.
You can like move country and get new friends and new family, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we went in a super dark path with this talk. Oh my God. This took a really dark turn. I should have not brought up that satanic game with the cult.
Yeah, that's where it started, right?
Please don't cancel me for talking about that.
What was it you were asking earlier about a weird habit or something?
Yeah, like a weird habit that you don't think that other people do the same.
That's a really tough one.
Yeah, it is.
Like I don't know. I just feel like from a philosophical point of view, it's like, okay, well, I do these things that I do, but I see what you're saying too, because it's like the pickles and peanut butter or whatever. That's a weird thing. Like, to me, these things I do are just normal. So,
yeah, okay.
What makes it weird? It's the things I do are normal to me, but unless I'm going, oh, you're reacting weird to what I'm doing, so this must be weird.
Yeah, you totally get it right, because I don't think it's weird to put honey in coffee as well.
Yeah.
Not a bit. But I also know that nobody else is doing that.
Right.
So maybe weird is the wrong word for this.
I consciously only eat with my left hand.
Okay.
Like, if I'm, depending on the setting I'm in, I will, if I'm going to eat some food, I'll go wash my hands. And then if I grab my phone or I'm touching dirty things, I'll touch my food with my left hand.
Oh, that makes sense.
This is like a rule I made for myself years ago.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Touch my phone with my right hand, or like, I don't know, the steering wheel or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's actually a cool thing if you think about that. But also I don't... Okay, but I guess, is it India where they only use the one hand to eat?
Right. I think I heard about that. And maybe that could be where...
I think it's the opposite way around there. Because you use the one hand to like clean off your butt after taking a dump, and the other hand you use to eat.
Yeah. So I guess, that's where it comes from.
Yeah. But
like, I've never been to India, but I've heard that before. I guess I must have heard it and it made sense.
It does make sense. It really does make sense. I mean, if you're eating by hand, like for example, a sandwich or an apple, it makes totally sense. Like,
let's say you go into a public bathroom and you wash your hands are clean, then you have to pull the door to get out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
That door handle is probably not clean from other people going to the bathroom and stuff. So if you do that with your right hand, you're still okay to eat with your left hand.
Oh, this is a really good one. I have to start doing that too. Actually, after leaving the bath, public bath, I always take one of the towels that you take to dry your hands.
Oh yeah.
And open the door with this.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. This is something that I'm doing always when in a public place.
That. I sometimes do that. I used to do that more, but sometimes these days I'll like go like this. If you're on video, like take your shirt into your, so technically your shirt would be the dirty part. I don't know.
Yeah. I do that too with jacket or hoodies when there's like only this fan to dry. Oh, I hate that. Let's be honest. Like this bathrooms that have this air blowing machine.
Yeah. It's not like you're going to stand there for the 2 minutes doing this.
And letting your hands dry. It never feels dry.
No.
Let's be honest. You can stand there for a minute. It still feels weird wet.
Yeah. No, the towel's the way to go.
I mean, I see that point with the waste. But also, even though we have this one system in some of the public rooms, there is this long towel, this super long towel.
Right. So what's the deal with those?
You tear it down, then you have a clean part to dry your hands. Is it clean? It is clean because it comes like from a big roll. And let's say there are 50 meters of towel.
Yeah.
And the dirty part gets into another place. So, but it doesn't go to the trash. And people that are cleaning the bathroom can take this roll out, send it for a chemical washing, and put a new one on top. So you don't have to waste paper. But you get dry hands.
So it goes back into the machine or something?
Yes, just in a different section of the machine. You have like the... It's like an old cassette, where it goes from one side to the other side. It's exactly this system. It's the old cassette system. And
see, I've seen these things before, and I've always been like, was this the communal hand towel? Like, you know what I mean? I didn't really realize that
You have
goes
to pull
into
it
another
down.
part.
Yeah, you have to pull it down to get the clean part out.
So when you're pulling it down, is that part dirty?
Yeah, that's true, actually.
So you have to, with your dirty hands, you pull it down, wash your hands, and then, you know what I mean?
That would make sense, actually. Yeah. That would make sense. Because you have to pull it down to get the clean part.
Yeah.
Or pull it down, dry your hands, wash them again, and then pull it.
Yeah, right. Ain't nobody got time for that.
True. But I would always prefer like a towel like that over this stupid blow machine. That's such a funny meme. There's this new age urinates, you piss inside and it just like splashes everywhere. I remember seeing that meme for the first time. I could not help myself. Oh, fantastic.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, I've seen like 100 times already, but it's never get old. It's always funny.
It's funny how like your algorithm will show you that 100 times, but then mine won't show me that once.
Yeah.
You know what one I always laugh at? It's like this guy, he's interviewing this woman. He's like, what is your biggest mistake? And then the woman comes up and she's like, my biggest beefsteak.
Yeah, I know. Oh, that's a good one. I know this one. Or
that one gets me every time.
Or what are you looking for in a girl? Latina. Yeah, but other stuff. Yeah, like big, good looking, and Latina.
Or the one where it's like, would you prefer short or like a handsome short man or a ugly tall man? And the woman that comes on, she's like, ugly tall man. And then it takes a shot of the woman's face. And then it goes to like, I don't know, a creature in like Monsters, Inc. Because it compares her face to...
Oh, yeah. Oh, or this one is also so hilarious. Would you rather date a rich man that cheats on you?
Yeah.
Or a broke man that's super loyal? She's like, a broke man that cheats on me. This is so dumb.
Oh, man.
This is so dumb.
Oh, man.
I swear, I love the internet for comedy.
Yeah.
Really. That's so hilarious.
So, do you have a new album coming out in February?
Yeah. You're on it as well.
Yeah, so that's the one that I play bass on. Eh?
Exactly. Okay, half of the album is already out. It's not that big as the first one.
Okay.
It's just a 10-song album. I kind of thought it would be cool making something shorter and then move to the next album.
Yeah.
And
is it all with different people again?
More or less. I have some solo tracks on this, some collaborations.
Yeah.
And 3 songs are with the same collaborator because we worked on a lot of songs. And yeah, I guess also to... It's so funny. I had this one vision how I want this album to be. It's totally not like that. Probably that's the idea for the next one. Because I want to have it this forest feeling, like a walk through the forest. And I totally drive apart from that.
Okay.
It took a complete different direction. But the next one should be a forest album. I really want to have a forest album, with like jungle sounds of exotic animals in the background, rainforest sounds.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
And
it's cool how your first one had like a chill river kind of theme.
Yeah, I was so about water.
Yeah.
And do you want to hear a super weird fact? I guess that's one of the first years in a super long time where I probably didn't not once take a swim in the lake.
Oh yeah.
Or river. So weird. Really weird. And we have super clean lakes. But I guess
Maybe like you were just, because you're so used to doing it, you were kind of craving it in a way, and it came out musically instead of physically.
Probably. But also after this, after the album was done, I was like physically, I got super sick.
Oh yeah.
And I really couldn't do music till September last year.
Yeah.
It was like more than half a year break. And my old doc got first the wrong diagnosis, so it didn't get better, it even get worse.
Okay.
And then I changed the doc. Now I got the right medication and everything is good. This thing in the here in the I always have to Google the word, how it's called. It's like some hormones thing, like a wrong function from your hormones regulation. The only good thing is I lost like 20 kilograms.
Okay.
I was super fat. Now I'm normal. But yeah, it's...
How much of that was hair weight? You used to have more hair.
Oh yeah, hair got so bad. Hair, nails, skin, everything got so bad.
Oh really?
That's why I decided to shave my head, and now I'm probably gonna shave it for half a year and then let it start growing back again.
Oh yeah.
But I can already feel that it gets thicker and stronger.
Oh, so that's why you shaved it?
Yeah, that's why I shaved it.
Okay.
It's wait, I cannot say it in English.
I was trying to make a joke on hair weight.
I make it louder. Google, do your thing.
Hyperthyroidism.
Okay.
Hyperthyroidism. I don't know.
I mean, it's overacting or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I could not focus, even though my ears went weird, and it's kind of bad for all your organs. Like every single organ in your body gets affected from that.
So what brought it on?
Could be really anything.
Like
because
stress or something.
Yeah, could be. But also my mother had it. Could be genetic.
Okay. Yeah.
And a lot of people have this.
Okay.
And I don't want to put it on like a tinfoil, but it could also be a side effect from the vaccines.
Oh, yeah.
I was super stupid and got myself vaccinated because I was so into the DJ thing when COVID happened, and you could go to nightclubs and still do party and DJ and playing gigs and stuff.
Yeah.
So I got the COVID vaccine for that. And
how many did you get?
2, I guess.
Okay.
And I really regret that decision.
Huh.
For real. I regret it a lot. Because now when I get sick with a flu or something, it's so weird. I feel like my body back before this happened was way stronger and more. The resistance was stronger. I mean, I caught the flu like 3 weeks ago, and I'm still not fully recovered from that.
Yeah. What was COVID like over there?
Weird, I guess, as everywhere.
Yeah.
It was super weird. We had like lockdowns, then you could
So
go.
was there like a vaccine passport or something? Is that like to get into the nightclub? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And then you could go and having social life again.
Yeah.
And this time it was around my last service for the public. It was my last act for the service public thing after the military. And I was in like a super liberal environment.
Yeah.
That they all were also like, get the vaccines, get the vaccines. And I mean, it's not really a it is somehow a political thing, but not fully a political thing. But I would say if I have discovered lo-fi 2 years earlier, I would probably already stop doing the DJ gigs and would okay, I stay at home, I make beats, all cool.
Yeah.
All cool.
You know, it was interesting in Canada, because I never got the vaccine.
So, lucky you. I'm so jealous.
So as a musician, I could still perform, but I couldn't hang out in the venue. So you could go
on stage and out.
Basically. No. Go from outside to the stage, do the gig, then go back outside.
I think you could have done that in Switzerland too, but a lot of the venues were kind of afraid because of the hard checks that the police just came in and then checked everyone if everyone got the pass and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I think because of that.
Yeah.
A lot of the clubs said like, no, you have to. Yeah, that was super strange.
Yeah.
Also, that is one American pharmacist that was actively researching in Wuhan on the coronavirus. Got what's the English word? I'll quickly check it. Get pardoned by Biden, like the weekend or like some weeks before he quit the office job. He got pardoned without having a case open, but he can like do the pardoning. So if something's happening, everything he did wrong,
I see.
He don't have to go to jail. And what's super weird is that he accepted the pardon, because you don't have to accept the pardon. But why should you accept the pardon if you're innocent?
Yeah. Huh.
I recently heard about that, and I was like, "Oh shit!" That's why I brought it up with the. It could be that. What caused my sickness?
Yeah, it could be.
Could be.
I've heard of people that got it now having heart problems that didn't have it before. And I heard, this is all like, I heard it from this person that heard it from a doctor, that apparently cases have gone up in that sort of thing since all the vaccines. And I mean, that's statistics. So we can put the tinfoil hat away. It's all statistics, and it's we will have, I guess, even more weird times now when like the more and more let's say side effects will show up. And I mean, we have already more statistic material for side effects than we had
before the vaccination went out to the public.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy that they made everyone get it.
Yeah.
Like,
and they forced it.
Still experimental at that point.
And that was also so interesting. I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast that he did with Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
And
the recent one.
The recent one. Have you heard that?
I haven't, no.
He got, his office got like threats, real threats from the government that you cannot post about the side effects. And he told like people were actually calling and screaming into the phone like maniacs that they have to put that down. And he haven't recorded the phone calls, but all the emails he got about this topic are now publicly. Right,
because you would get these kind of warnings on Facebook and that this might be misinformation. I forgot about that.
Yeah. And it was like, it was really crazy to hear that. I mean, I just was curious because I saw some clips about this episode. And people were like, oh, he's now looking like a human again, not like an alien at all. And he started, what was it? This one fight sport. The same that Joe Rogan also did.
MMA or something?
But the other thing that...
Jiu-jitsu? I don't know.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu. He started jiu-jitsu. Also went to tournaments and stuff, and now he's looking like fit and even got like healthy hair and looks superhuman compared to this alien-like pictures.
Right.
And then he started, and Joe Rogan, if you heard some episode, he's always asking the really hard questions. He's going hard on the guests. And then, hearing what happened there with the whole censorship of the truth, that's how he called it. He was like not allowed to tell the truth.
Yeah.
That's how Zuckerberg described it.
Isn't that crazy,
like
man?
Getting threatened by the government and stuff.
Yeah. You hear about what happened in Canada in that time with the trucker convoy and all that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Oh, you did?
I heard that, but only recently on another podcast.
Oh, okay.
And that they lost their jobs and all kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, basically, all these trucks, and not even just
they got
semis, but they went across Canada all the way to the Parliament buildings in Ottawa, and they said they weren't leaving. They basically went there and parked and said they weren't leaving until this was all lifted, all the mandates and all that. And then it was a peaceful protest.
Mm-hmm.
There were people going on YouTube and doing live streams showing how it was a peaceful protest. There wasn't anything crazy going on. There wasn't like riots or anything like that. And it went on for, I don't know how long, but it went on for a while. And the Prime Minister ended up calling on the Emergency Act to stop it, which is something that Emergency Act is like for terrorism or something. Yeah, so...
And I guess they stayed inside the trucks. They even did nothing against the rules.
Yeah.
They were like in their little capsules. They were like not going to the streets with thousands of people and kind of spreading the virus,
Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't think it was like a street party or anything.
Also, is it true? This is also what I heard about that. I just remembered that they got their bank accounts frozen.
Oh, yeah. So anyone that donated to the cause, because obviously keeping trucks running and people need to eat and stuff like that, you could donate to these people. So they were going and freezing people's bank accounts that had donated.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the first time probably that this happened in Canada, right?
Yeah.
And that's hardcore, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a dictatorship.
Yeah.
There's nothing democratic about this. Not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, we live in interesting times.
Yeah.
We can all agree on this. And yeah, you have to keep focusing on.
Yeah, just keep making music.
Keep making music, and also like keep focusing on sanity. Like,
I wrote a song about this as well.
Yeah?
I want to release at some point. Yeah. But whenever the circumstance is right. You know, I don't know how you feel with your original tunes and that, but I feel like I want to release this and a few other tunes with a band, as opposed to just solo doing everything myself. Like I want to get a band together and get that connection of like the interplay of at least two other members.
Yeah.
And
do you have like open jam sessions in Glasgow?
There's
because
like,
we have that here.
Yeah, like there's pubs that have basically open mics, like acoustic or electric, where you can play with different drummers or bass player. But, you know, for the most part, those are more like play cover songs. Like,
okay.
Yeah. Play someone else's music. At least from what I've experienced anyway.
Probably have to find something like that, but that attracts like jazz study musicians. I don't know. Can you, here in Switzerland, you can study jazz.
Yeah.
And
you can do that in Canada too, actually.
Okay.
I'm sure, probably, I would think maybe anywhere.
Yeah, and kind of, or just figure out where the campus is.
Yeah.
And then go during a lunch break, just hit up some people like, hey.
Yeah, hey.
Want to start a band?
Yeah.
I think that could work perfectly fine.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of interesting. I think you guys were talking about it the other day, or I say the other day as in I was listening the other day on the podcast, how stuff like jazz and art, it's such a like free creative thing, but then you're going to school to do it and they're teaching you how to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
And I heard from so many people that really end up doing music after going through such a school, and they're all saying like it's kind of wasted time.
Yeah.
Not fully wasted time, because obviously you learn important aspects. But in the end of the day, there's like no right or wrong. And I would say the most innovative music comes from people that have no idea what they are actually doing.
Like, look at the Beatles, man.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a great thing, because there's always have to be someone who's doing things completely different that others can then learn about this.
Yeah.
Because let's say the first music was already made in like the caveman times, I guess, like drumming on something and making rhythms, and singing and dancing around the fire. But let's say when you have this point where music was invented and you would only teach about that, it would have never progressed to something new. And you would have like one style of music, and everybody was doing just this one style of music, and it would got so boring, and I would say nobody would make music again because you heard it already so many times. That's why it's important to do new things.
Yeah. Imagine if they did that for other things, like this is the 90s, you know? here's your course on the 90s, and we're gonna take you through. This is what it was like living in the 90s. Here's the like Super Nintendos, and this is what houses look like, and you could just live the rest of your life as though you were in the 90s, and it doesn't have to be this thing that you look back at like, oh yeah, the 80s or the 70s, that was such an era.
I would totally live in like late 90s.
Yeah.
Late 90s, early 2000. Oh my God. But
it's so weird to think. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's just like a nostalgic thing because you were a child then, and everything is cool when you're a child. Yeah. And like if you ask your parents, they're like, "Oh, growing up in the 70s or 60s, that's a time."
Yeah.
Where you could buy like a house with 2 months' salary.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah. But it's so weird to think like, yeah, wow, it'd be so cool to be a bit older in the 90s or like more conscious. But that was only 10 years, man. Like I can think back to 10 years ago, like 2015. You know, when you think to where we are now and where it was 10 years ago, and it's like, that's not really that much time. It is, but it's like a third of my life, but it's, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I totally get it.
Like the 90s couldn't be something that goes on from the 90s to now, that time era. Like, technology keeps going forward, but it comes to an end and the 2000s come.
Yeah, but also it was like this in like the 20s. The 30s were completely different, and the 40s, 50s. Yeah. There were always like minor changes.
Yeah.
I would really love to live like in the medieval times. I imagine that's such a cool thing.
Maybe for like a day.
I could totally imagine living in the medieval. It's like rough, but it's like so real, you know?
You'd probably be dead already by this point.
Definitely. 14 years old, married, 2 kids, and midlife crisis. But you have to see it like that. Obviously, you could die from everything because of the medicine and like the plague and whatever happened. But on the other side, you had like every day was full of life. I mean, you had absolutely no TV shows to like waste time on that.
Yeah.
You didn't had games, even though it's super fun. I love watching TV shows. I love to play video games, but imagine this all did not exist.
Just imagine walking around with a sword.
Yeah, you walk around with a sword. Also, like the highlight of entertainment was if someone got crossed or like hung or burning some witches and stuff. That was like the highlight of the month.
Yeah.
All came together, had like a nice chat, heard some screams.
Yeah.
But I could totally see myself. I'm probably dead by now with this age, but I would say the 20 years living there would be totally worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. And everyone was super religious back then too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. You had nothing else, you know. You had or like ancient Greek. That would be wow. That would be an amazing time to live. Like the super ancient Greek.
Plato, Aristotle, and all that.
Yeah. Diogenes. That was like the first real G ever.
Oh, yeah.
You heard about him?
No.
No? Oh, no. That was such a weird guy. He used to live in a casket, like a big casket.
Really?
That he slept in. He was kinda, if I got it right in my memory, he grew up super rich.
Okay.
And then decided to live like
like a poor life.
Yeah, like a super poor life, like I can't remember this name. If you don't have a home, homeless. So
Okay.
easy. Like homeless. But he was like super happy. And he was a philosophist as well. And there was this moment where like Alexander the Great came to visit him because he heard how carefree and like how he enjoyed life.
Yeah.
And Alexander the Great asked him like, I heard you're the happiest man alive. I want to grant you one wish, no matter what.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, step aside. I want to enjoy the sun. Like the Alexander the Great threw a shadow by standing in front of him. And he was like, yeah, step aside. You're standing in the sun.
Yeah.
That's such a funny dude. He's like, it's like a philosophical meme.
It kind of sounds like similar to the Socrates kind of thing where he's kind of the only person that admits that he doesn't know anything.
Yeah. Or Pythagoras when he was like doing some... He studied something mathematically. And then the soldiers attacked the city. And they were like, what are you doing here? Move. And he's like, no, you move. You're like, what did he say in English? Kind of, you're disturbing my circles. Oh, yeah. I imagine like the super ancient times could be funny as hell. Imagine having a portal gun, like Rick from Rick and Morty, and just go and live a day here, live a day there.
Oh, yeah.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Oh, man. You know what? We have a record for the longest podcast on this episode on this podcast already. Yeah, we are already like 2 hours and 17 minutes into this.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that was super chill.
Getting into Joe Rogan territory here.
Yeah. Wow, it's already like 11 p.m. here.
Oh, yeah. Yes, 10 here.
Yeah, I would say let's finish this episode for today.
Yeah.
And continue it on another time.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
And
anytime.
I would say this was the most chill episode also. From us. Super. I guess the overtiredness kind of really got the mood for being relaxed as hell. One last question. And when you heard the podcast, you already know it, right?
Yeah. I've been prepping.
Nice. So shoot your shot. Give us an amazing life advice.
Okay. So I went through a time when I was feeling really down, like 10 years ago. And I felt like nothing mattered. Yeah. I don't know, just going through like...
I know that point.
Yeah, just like getting... I feel like just becoming more in tune with reality, I suppose. And later on, I kind of sort of developed my own philosophy more into more existentialism in that. Just felt like nothing mattered. And that was a sad time. But then, and it sounds kind of funny, but then I realized nothing matters. But it doesn't matter that nothing matters. It sounds kind of stupid, but...
I totally get that point.
And through that, I started feeling happier.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, well, it almost gives you more of a freedom in a way of, well, it doesn't matter. I don't know. It just, for me, it somehow put on more of a positive twist. Like, I don't really know how else to say it than that. Like, you could be like, that thing I wanted didn't work out, and why is this happening to me? It doesn't really matter in the long run. But then you can be like, well, no, it doesn't matter in the long run. It's just kind of changing the tone that you say it in, I suppose. I don't know if that makes sense, but
it makes absolutely sense. And oh man, I would love to like keep on chatting about this. I think we can go a little bit further in the podcast. It's kind of because I send you like this Stoic stuff, and you send me this topic, and it's kind of super, let's say, connected in a way. Just like with small details that are a little different. But yeah, I mean, first of all, life is super short. Life is super short. And imagine if you're mad at something bad that happened to you, or like something that didn't work out. I mean, how long do you want to carry this luggage? Right?
Exactly.
And by accepting that it doesn't matter, it's like taking off a super heavy backpack, I guess. Was it kind of like that in your experience?
I suppose it was, because I think I started to realize, kind of like you're saying, life is short, and this is all the time you get. Like, you can't go back. You don't know what happens when you die. This might be it. And, you get, let's say 100 years, maybe less, to do your life. What are you going to do in that time? Are you going to waste time doing stupid things that annoy you? Or are you going to do things like, I don't know, it kind of ties into, do you want to waste time going to church when you don't know if that's real? I don't know. Do you want to live by what the government says you should do because an authority is saying that? Do you want to live by what your parents are telling you to do because they're your parents and you should do that? It really doesn't matter. Like, you can just do whatever you want.
Exactly.
And I think it kind of comes down to just being happy doing what you're doing. That's kind of why, or how I should say, is how I got to the level I'm at with my guitar playing and music playing. Like, I just always had fun doing it. I had fun thinking about theory and the connection of notes and all that stuff. And, if I wasn't around a guitar, I would mentally be playing it. And then,
that sounds cool.
And and then people started telling me, you're getting good at guitar. And I was like, what? I don't know. I'm just having fun playing. And I was getting better without trying to be like, okay, I gotta get this thing down. I mean, there was some of that for sure, but I was just naturally, and this is me referring to when I was younger, but I was just naturally getting better with my music taste. I was trying to, from like starting off with Nirvana, going to Van Halen, then going to like Trivium and Metallica, then like, I don't know, Death, the band. Just a natural progression. And then each time you get better, and it's because you love doing it.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to making songs, that's such an important lesson, because I guess also this artists that kind of start a project and are never fully happy with it. And then kind of working half a year on the song, but it doesn't get better. Because I guess if you approach it with this philosophy of nothing matters, then you can just call it done. Say
Yeah.
it's got a vibe. It's not perfect, but it's got a vibe.
Yeah.
And then you call it done. Then you making the next one and the next one and the next one. And imagine writing 50 more songs, and then it starts to sound actually good because you got so much practice.
Yeah.
But you don't get much practice by playing the same chords, progression, and melody over and over again. Then you get probably good at playing that chord progression.
Yeah.
But probably the aspect why you're not happy with this is not the chord progression or the melody. Maybe it's the rhythm. Maybe it's the mixing. Maybe it's a little detail how you use your finger to hold the chord.
Yeah.
And imagine by moving on and saying it doesn't matter, even you can release it, and then you end up like listening to your released song and then realizing at one moment, okay, I think I know now what I can improve.
Yeah.
And this is so important, just to like let go. And I would say let go is the strongest sentence in this nothing matters philosophy, right? Just let things go.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, what I wanted to say, I saw this really cool watch. Oh, the watch is looking super shit. It's ugly as hell. But the concept is super cool.
Yeah.
And you put in when you're born, like put in your birthday, and then it shows you a constant timer with the average lifespan. Let's say you put in your male, and then it calculates your average lifespan.
Whoa.
And it's a clock that is constantly going down.
Fuck.
That's such a cool invention, because every time you check this watch, you will ask yourself, should I now really be mad at this idiot who just like cut me in the car driving?
Yeah.
Or should I just get over it and be happy?
Yeah.
Right? And I think this is such an interesting aspect. And I really had this in front of my like mental eye when you talked about this philosophy.
Okay. Same thing. I can't remember the exact number, but it's like it's this number of weeks. Like you only get this many weeks in your typical life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know the number, but you know, you only get so many Saturdays, like lazy Sunday or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just really weird to think that it's not infinite. Like when I was young, I thought that was such a weird concept to be like, well, you die, then you go to heaven, then you live forever. And that feels like scary and like worse than, you know, knowing that this will be over eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so what, you go to heaven and you just keep on being there and you're on the cloud or whatever, and it just keeps on going. And then tomorrow, and oh, there's my grandpa, but he's old, and you know, like,
yeah, I
don't know.
totally
Would he be old? Would his dad be old? Like, is everyone just the age that you die? You go there and you're just like 80 or whatever. Like,
that would be so weird when
it's just it's just an old folks home.
Yeah, imagine you're getting to age of 110 and you are like super bad with walking and everything, and then you just like stay in this age for eternity.
For eternity.
That would be weird. I also heard this nice philosophy. I don't know the name of this philosophy, but it's so cool. They made a reinterpretation of the whole Bible, and it sounds actually so, how do I say? It sounds so good that it really could make sense in case of just real philosophic wise.
Yeah.
That, let's say, when it comes to heaven and hell, it's just the world within you means how you decide what you're gonna do. I mean, by if you are deciding to become a heroin addict, you're obviously feel good in this moment, but actually your life is a mess and it feels like living in hell. But if you decide to go for the things that really are fulfilling, let's say you have a dream and you're gonna catch that dream and you work hard on it, and eventually it becomes your reality and you start living your dream life. Let's say you get super successful with music or something, then you are living in heaven, and that's kind of doing the right decisions. And let's say, with this things that are forbidden to do, like you should not steal, you should not lie. And I mean, if you start lying a lot and to everyone, your life will become hell because it's a constant stress. And you don't know which lies to tell to who.
Yeah.
And when it all kind of falls down, then it's super fucked up. But like by being kind and honest, and you have nothing to worry about. Let's say you never lie. You have never to worry about that these things eventually will come out because everything is the truth. And then your life feels like heaven because you have less stress. Just because you feel like more free and more light. And this concept totally makes sense to me,
Yeah.
Like being kind and being honest.
Yeah. Well, it's like we're already in heaven and hell.
We are. And it's kind of, what side are you gonna to feed? And this is how your life is.
Yeah.
And also what is super interesting is this karma concept.
Yeah.
From the Hinduists.
I feel like it's nice to believe in that, but I don't believe in it.
Yeah, you don't have to. I'm super interested in that topics because I really love to like do the philosophy part about it and talk about all that and read and hear about all that. But I have this concept that depending on how you was in life, that will decide your
next life.
Your next life.
Right.
If you get born as an ant or as a fish or as a human or whatever. That's such an interesting concept.
I suppose when I was saying, like, I mean, there's no way of knowing for stuff like that. But when I was saying that I don't believe in it, I'm more meaning like within the same life. They say you do something bad to someone and then something bad will come back to you. Like, I don't know if I believe that. Like, there's been a lot of people in the world that have done pretty bad things and
got away with it. Yeah. I totally see that point. That point.
I mean, look at World War II, right?
Yeah. I totally agree on that.
Yeah.
And yeah,
But then if you're going to say...
so weird.
If you're going to say that maybe the life after World War II is worse, then I mean, that's nice to think that. Like, in a way you could be like, well, those people deserve that or whatever, but...
Yeah, I totally see your point. And it's so weird because nobody knows. Let's be honest. Like, nobody knows. I just kind of...
When I say those people, I'm meaning Hitler.
Oh, really?
Have you heard of him?
Nah, never. I thought you mean this art student. Oh, my girlfriend watched this like super weird show on Netflix, and like about people in hell have to relive their worst moment over and over and over again.
Okay.
And he was a part of the show as well, and he was like constantly like in this space where he got regret from the art academy.
Okay.
Such a weird series. I just kind of, I didn't watch it with her. I just like saw some scenes over the shoulder, you know.
Is that like a Black Mirror or something?
I have to ask.
Yeah,
actually, but
those shows are really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Okay.
Right, man. Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on.
I thank you for being on here and like for taking this long time having this talk. That's.
I hope people listen to all this.
Yeah, I hope so too. We had many really interesting topics.
Yeah.
And some really fucked up ones as well.
Yeah.
Also, Premiere. That's amazing. So many really cool, cool topics.
Yeah, man.
Really enjoyed it with you, and yeah, we have to hop on another podcast soon.
Yeah,
or like in a month or two.
Yeah, whenever you need a guest and you're short on someone, feel free to.
Hey, I'm always open. Just like even if you feel like inspired or feel like you want to have a talk, just hit me up and.
Cool.
I would say thanks for listening and stay tuned for next week's podcast and like and subscribe, do all that stuff.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace.